Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Bob's KGS series. I know it's been a long time. I had some stuff going on with work. I had some stuff going on with the family, and it just kind of time slipped away from me. So this will be the first one in like a month and a half, or maybe even longer than that. And I do appreciate the comments that people have been saying, very politely urging me back. It's very encouraging to see not only am I helping people, maybe learn a little bit more through my mistakes and my opponent's mistakes, but also that I'm being entertaining. I hope that continues. I'd like to be more of a morning thing instead of a night thing. Like put me on right before you go to sleep. You'll be out in like 5 seconds. Um, so I've set up a game, and as you can see, we're at 10:56. So 6 BOYOMI periods. I want to have enough time to think, and I'm still experimenting with that. But we'll see how that goes. If it takes too long, then I'll see about shortening up the game a little bit. It's hard for me to think and talk at the same time in terms of reading. So when I'm talking, I can't read, and when I'm reading, I can't talk, and I want to do both, so then I end up taking twice as much time as I take in a regular game. But maybe in another sense, talking out my thoughts is helpful as well. I did turn off the sound because recently KGS doesn't allow the stones to click on the board. The new Java version 7, for some reason is anti-stone clicking, and we have a game. So I decided that what would end up happening is it would be better if I what was I even saying? Just turned off sound entirely, since we're not getting what I consider to be the positive side of it, and we are getting the negative thing, which is that really horribly loud dinging sound. Even when I have sound turned like all the way down to like 10 or 11, it still is really, really, really. These go to 11. Anyway, it's really loud. So I used to play this. I've decided that having 4 stones, I don't know what that's called, like that, all on the Hoshi points. I just wanted to have something that was a little bit more imbalanced. Um, as far as this goes, though, I'm. It's funny because I've never thought that Sanransei was something that would be difficult, because I'm good at making moyos and I should know how to reduce them then. But lately it actually has been pretty difficult. I've been not doing very well against the Sanransei or any huge moyo-based opening. Um, but here, let's see, if I just hit the 3-3. I've actually never tried this move before, D6. It's a move that was suggested to me by a friend of mine, um, but I'm not really sure which way to go with it. Do I change directions? I think I'm going to change directions. But if I change directions, I should do it low. Normally, changing directions is not the way here. Actually, I don't like changing directions. If I change directions, he can just play D3. So what I'll do, I'm just going to hit the 3-3. I figure this can't be bad because he's going to be pushing into a high stone. So in effect, once he drops and I play up, um, I wonder if he's going to Hane, though. I bet you he is. Then we're going to have something crazy complicated going on. Okay. So let's see. Oh, this might not be good at all. Okay, so we've already gotten to a place where things don't look good for us. The question is, do we panic? And the answer is maybe. I mean, I almost definitely have to cut here. But then we've got this crazy fight going on. Okay. I'm going to cut and fight. I didn't even think about this. So let's see what he can do. He's definitely going to Hane. I don't see any reason why he should not do that. So then when I connect, though, he can't turn. But when I turn here, he's got to play this, and then I have to live. So now he's got 2 stones to attack in the middle of a really nice little moyo. So this did not end up very well for me at all. But let's see how we can turn this to our advantage. I mean, we can't turn this to our advantage. It's pretty obvious that he got the better of us there. We didn't get enough territory for this moyo, and he looks really, really, really solid. So I'm just going to try this. This is a normal a reducing move in the Sanron-sei, and see what he does. Okay, so he wants to do that, and now I'm going to play a low Chinese. So he's probably going to try to attack this stone. Really? This move I do not see as sente. And I'll show you why when he tries to say, hey, that was sente. Especially since I'm a little bit behind here. I wanna see what I can do to ignore whatever I can. So like he's gonna hop in at S2, and he's welcome to do it. I'm gonna lose some territory, but I gained sente. I don't know. Maybe this doesn't work out. Maybe it does. We'll see. Okay, so he thinks that I think that he thinks that I think that he thinks that I don't know what I'm doing. Or that he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know. I confuse myself with that. Let me see. So, should I take the outside or should I take the corner? This is a low stone. I've always been trying to get territory so far, so I should probably continue to try to get territory. Now he's going to get this, which is a nice move. There's no real way for me to attack this yet, so I'm not going to try. Instead, I think what I'm going to do is this. Just kind of defend this stone. I could also play this. This is a more territorial way, or even this. But this makes everything low. I think what I'll do is this. He can't really invade at N17 as long as this group remains weak. And this is why that other thing was not sente before. He cannot Hane here and remain with a good result. Now I'm pushing from behind on the line of victory here. If I connected there, he was going to kill me. So I did not. I said, no, I think I won't. And again, I'm going to say not sente. I'm going to say that this right here is a much, much, much bigger move. It helps this stone at K9, And yeah, he can come in and take this corner. Um, I'll answer that. But one of the reasons why I'm going to answer that is because it's actually Gote for him. Now that he's removed this liberty, I can push here, and then I can turn in this way. And I don't really know what he's doing. So he has to answer. And then if he comes back and plays S4 at that point, that's going to be totally, totally, totally Gote. Now, next thing I got to ask myself is, where are the weaknesses? Where do I want to develop? And that's going to be the key to trying to come back in this game, because I still feel that white is a little bit behind. So let me see. So what do you guys think I should do? I'm thinking this is my biggest weakness right here, the length between these two stones. So I should worry about that first, and then when and if he protects, and if he doesn't protect, he's going to open up a lot of Aji. Then I can play something like the shoulder hit here, and I'm developing a pretty large area for myself. I think the first thing I'm going to do here is connect this way. Then he can drop down, and then he can play something like this. But when he plays this, I don't see these two groups as fully connected. Maybe I should. Okay, I'll drop down. See what he wants to do. Okay, now the question is, do I seal him in and try to make him alive as small as possible, or do I try to kill him? And I'm thinking I'm not going to try to kill him, but I think that if he gets this move, it's just going to be too good for him. He's going to have two eyes, like, basically right there. So at that point, I don't really see any way to attack him. So I'm going to take this first, and I'm going to drive him out. And these stones I have to worry about a little bit, but I've got to move like this to come around him and also fix these shape points. Once this gets strong, I can start to think about maybe going in a little bit deeper, or maybe even attaching directly. So we'll see. First thing I got to do, I got to fix this whole shape. Okay, so now he's coming up, and I think what I should do is this, and I think that's also what I'm going to do. He's definitely got Aji in a bunch of different places. But it's really funny because this whole Sanran Se thing, he's building up this area, and then he's coming into these areas willy-nilly trying to reduce them and take away everything that's mine. Now the question becomes, when he plays here, what do I do? Because if I push in, I'm going to start to have some liberty potential issues going on. If I pull back, then he can connect. Alright, I'll pull back. If he connects, I can jump. Hmm. This is where reading comes in, but part of me wants to now go back and seal him in and let him, you know, live locally. And I'm feeling like before, if I was going to do that, I should have done it a while ago. But like if I play this, force him to connect, and then play something like this move here, it's going to make him have to live locally. So you know what? I'm going to do that. And the reason why is because I've got some strength here, and I really want to see what I can do back here. I think that something like L4 is possible, um, because I have something to run to now. Now that is interesting. Ah, this is what he did not think about. He's just trying to get two eyes. Okay, so now this is where actually things get interesting, because him running out this direction is giving me a great opportunity to attack this group. If I can get him out of there without any eyes, without any issues on my part, if I'm strong and he's weak, then he gets two weak groups. And we all know that two weak groups is the best way to help your opponent to realize their mortality, if we might say. Okay, so he's going to actually live locally now. But the good thing about that is it's going to be in Gote. So he's going to play here. My Yose is amazing. So I kind of got Yose in the middle game. He never gets to play T16. So you could consider that to be the profit that I get from that attack. And I do get to attack this group if he allows me a move, which he has to. So like I can play J18, then I can play F17, or I can just cap him directly and see how he wants to make life. I'm not sure if I like the direct cap. Oh, he's coming after. He's definitely coming out. Come on, buddy. Let's do it. I kind of like this because actually M13 had a lot of Aji, and now it does not. So let's see. If he does that, then I do this. He's got that. Yeah. Basically, if I pushed in here, he could play this Atari, which is Sente for him, and then all of a sudden I've got some shape issues with this cut point with this other stuff here. So, but he's making this not only territory, he's making it super thick. Oh, I see. Actually, I don't think this works. Well, at the very least, I mean, it may work. But in the sense of working as in like being good, maybe it won't. Okay, so the next thing we have to worry about, I mean, actually this kind of weakness here is not very fun, but this is kind of strong in the center, and I've got a lot of strength here. So I want to start a fight in the middle of his moyo, because if I can get out and get all this extra stuff done, it's going to reduce his moyo and it's going to cause all kinds of problems. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach here and see what he does. When you have thickness, start fights. And you'll see my style has changed a little bit. It's infinitely more aggressive, apparently. Um, I don't know exactly what to say about it, but it is definitely more aggressive than it ever has been before. And as far as it goes, I like it, but it either means I lose the game like really badly or I win the game really badly. And we could be in the middle of either of them right now. So let me see. If I play this and he Hane and I Hane, that doesn't really help. If I do this, however, he can cut. If I play this and then cut, so we've got a lot of potential questions here. All right, this is what we're doing. If he attaches, I can Hane, and we've got some interesting stuff happening. If he doesn't attach, that's just not any good for him. So Hane, yeah, I like this. If he cuts, then I can Atari, but if he doesn't cut, which is what he's not doing right now, then I can do this. Okay, and the cool part of that is I mean, this is assuming that it's possible. What I was kind of trying to do was start to isolate these stones so that he doesn't just have to worry about his territory, he also has to worry about whether he can live there. So let me see here. I think this should be the first thought. It is definitely my first thought. Now, whether it works or not is a completely different story. Now, these two stones are actually still connected, and I've reduced his moyo quite a bit. The good thing is these stones still have Aji, which I can now start to think about using. Playing a move like this, or playing a move like this, saying, do you want me to bring these stones out? And then if he tries to cut me off, then I've got other things that I can do. And this, I don't think works for him. If he tries to cut me, I don't think he can cut me here. Because of this little bit of nastiness. I don't mind him taking this stone. If I can rescue these stones, if these are cutting stones, then this group comes under fire. So if he decides to push up here, then I can push up again. If he decides to push up again, okay, so now I'll do this. And this. So the wedge, and really all I'm kind of looking for here, is this fight. See, these stones are in trouble. If he cuts, I can Atari and connect, and he's dead. Now, he's not going to die here, but when I get this Hane in later, it may be very good for me. And this, I don't think really works. I mean, it might. Let's see. If he plays Atari, this, that. This just doesn't work, I don't think, okay? So, like, if I wedge and he Ataris, I connect, he can Atari underneath and develop my center, and then I can Hane here. But if he wedges and then he tries to Atari me down, I've got an Atari here from his original Atari stone, and then I've got this Atari and this move here. And then these two stones are dead. You'll see it all when it comes into play. I mean, I can't say that my reading's gotten better, but it certainly hasn't gotten worse than it was when it was really bad, if you know what I mean. And actually, I think it should be a little bit different because I don't want him to enclose me. So now I get this forcing Atari in, and I say, do you want me to ladder you, or do you want me to take your stones? And he says, I don't want you to do either. I want to kill you. And I say, okay, well, I don't think that I'm going to allow that. And he says, but I don't think you have a choice. And I say, maybe not. Maybe not, but we'll see. And he says, oh, ho, ho, yes, we will see. Now, the thing about this is, I almost have a little bit of like me-eye here. In fact, as long as he doesn't have liberties, I've got the ability to get him some forcing moves or get myself something from the outside. So the question is, do I want to play this and then Atari here? I think really I want to do that. Yes, I think I do want to do that. I don't know if this could have been done easier at any one point. There's a distinct possibility of that. Okay, so here's the cool thing. I don't just have me-eye here. I have what you might call tree-eye. Because once I kill these stones, which they're dead now, these stones can make life either by this move to kill off this, or this move. I guess that would be me-eye. Okay, so no tree-eye, just me-eye. But I get to kill off these stones, take this territory. I've got this territory up here. And now you can see why, I didn't actually tell you this at an earlier stage of the game, but I have been losing a lot of games lately. Actually, maybe I did tell you that. But man, have I been losing a lot of games lately. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. And I've also been winning a lot of games. And the fun part about it is, you never know what Bob is going to show up today. It's just just the way it's been so far. Um, I don't know why I thought this was the biggest move, but probably because I was just talking. Um, so at this point, I do believe I'm winning, and I also believe that I could have been a little bit more careful here. Oh, you know what? I might not be winning. Because if he plays out here, Oh, that's just nasty. Why do I do these things to myself? Okay, so most definitely I'm going to play here. And then I'm going to do this, which he may actually end up in a Seki here. Because this... Dang it, I should have just killed him off. Why do I think that I have to make everything perfect? Perfect is just... He's asking for an undo. So apparently he misclicked. Oh, you've got an extra liberty on the outside. Oh, this is very sad. If I end up losing this game because I'm just a big dork, then, well, I lost this game because I'm a big dork. And you get to see it. Whoever you are, wherever you are, please understand that I don't try to be as big a dork as I am from time to time. It comes with skill. Yeah, I think he won. I think he captured these stones. And once he captures them, it's game over. He didn't get these four. These are mine. Yep, but that's pretty much game over. Okay, so I resigned. And let's go back to this move, which is like my talking to you and just being... And it's not about talking to you guys. Really, I was just ridiculous. If I go back and do this, everything's cool. Everything's kosher. Or even, not even that. Just like this. Okay, so going over the game. I have no idea what to do against Sanransei, because these... it just looks so amazingly scary, and you just want to go crazy. So he does this, which I honestly don't know how to respond to. If I attach and I do this, he can do this. I mean, this is kind of similar to another Joseki. He gets quite a bit of territory, and this group never gets a base. So I have no idea if that's correct, which I don't think it is. I mean, I know this one, and one of my friends said that you should do this, and when he attaches, just play this, because you just want to take out this framework. I've thought about trying it in terms of the pincer, but, oh, you know what? Here, if I were black, I would play here. So now what? D7 after D6. Yeah. I'm casting the game. So I know this corner jump isn't bad. I know that it's totally fine to play it because I have this move, and he does. If he decides to protect his Moyo, if you really count it, it's not as much as you would think. And him trying to get the Yose on this later, when I really am the one. Well, depending on the position, normally white will end up getting these moves. So let's say, this he actually protects, which he may or may not. If he's protecting both places, he's got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-ish points, but maybe not even that much. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 50, 60. Okay, so I'd say, okay, max 60 points. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, and I've got the move. So when you're looking at it that way, it's really not all that bad. And I can go into low Chinese or something like that and be okay. He's basically concentrated all of his stones into this area, which when you look at it globally is over-concentrated. I've got stones here, here, here. So I've got one side loosely grabbed and two corners, and I've got a claim on the other two corners, which means that overall I think white's game is better. I just don't like it. I'm trying to find a game that I like against the Sanren-sei. So playing here and then jumping the corner is obviously bad, as we saw. Or maybe jumping the corner is good, I just didn't do the Joseki right. But I don't see one. I mean, this Hane is pretty much, and I cut, he descends directly. Pretty much the question is, what do you do here? Oops, not that. I'm wondering, what about this? This is interesting, because once he plays here, I can play this. He gets a big corner, and I don't get enough thickness to compensate, but it is something that you could try. Okay, so bad position here, and if you have any questions about the Sanren-sei, please do not ask me, because obviously I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So, having to fight our way back into the game, and he plays this. He's expecting me to do this, and now he gets all of this Yose in, and really I've saved 2, 4, 5 points, plus maybe, let's say, another 7 for him. So it's really 12 points, but as long as I have a way out with this move, it doesn't affect the strength of my group as much, which is why in the end of the game, I didn't really care about that. And now if he does this, obviously I have to go back and answer like this. Then it becomes about group strength. But as long as it's not about group strength, I don't really care about those points. Now, I was thinking about this. I think that this is perfectly reasonable, but I wasn't 100% sure. Should I go for influence? L17's low. I have no idea in terms of what I'm supposed to do there. So this, in my opinion, was slow. And that was slow again. So he played two slow moves, and suddenly the position goes from, overwhelmingly good for black to okay for white, which shows you the value of a move. So then I played here. Now, I could have done this, but when he wedges, this was what I was worried about. I don't have enough shape here. But actually I could do this. Oh, now I'm totally fine. Yeah, this would have been white having a huge advantage because this whole clamp idea was not good. So I should have done that. All I saw was connect here and he can extend. And now I really don't want this fight because if I lose it, I lose everything on this side, which is pretty big. You know, it's not all that. So I did this. And what I should do here, I'm thinking, is just cap him in because I still do have this. And he's not going to be able to live locally easily. I mean, he can do this, but I get pretty darn strong from it, and I get to play something like this. So I'm building up some nice territory. I've got territory back here, so I should have done this. Just surround, take influence, take the outside, and then as he decides what he's going to do elsewhere, later on you've got this attack against this group. This influence is really nice. This territory is really nice. And in my opinion, black is behind here. But I decided to go all out. Crazy Bob. And then I wasn't entirely sure about this. This move, I think, was not severe enough. But if I play this, he can play here. And he should be trying to run out because I can't cut his running stone. Oops, not like that. All I can do is try to seal him in. And so him running out is just destroying any chance of influence I have. And he's making shape as he does it. I mean, he can make shape later, but he's deciding, I'm going to live locally. And maybe I should be doing this. I was thinking about this. It indirectly works against this. I didn't like it because it wasn't like a standard shape. But who knows? Who knows? So he does this. I pull back. He comes up. And honestly, I think here I should just do this. Because now he has to Hane underneath. He's definitely got to live now. Because I've got different and varied ways of killing him. Which is, nice for me. But my question was, what do I do now? And maybe that's when I go back to this. I've got the territory here. I can reduce him here. And the game still was, I think, in my opinion, good for white after this. So cut here. Okay, and when we were here, with this move, there's some interesting, well, first of all, I can't do that. There's some interesting moves with like something like this that I didn't want to read out. Maybe I was being lazy. I thought there was more danger here than there might actually be. But you can see that even though white is okay, black ends up getting like forcing moves and things like that. And since he's already alive here, I think it just ends up better for him than the game variation. Unless I can kill him. If I can kill him, which it looks like I can, then okay, this wouldn't be good for black at all. Okay, so anyway, I was a wuss. He comes through, and I should have connected here. And this is going to be important later. You'll see the weakness. I took care of this weakness, but everything back here is thick, so I should take care of this weakness. Because actually, when he ends up here, I might even be able to do this. If, let's edit the position. If this stone were here, if I cut here, no, actually, I want to cut this side. Oh, here's the reason why. The reason I can't do that is because if I connect, he can Atari and then kill these stones off. Okay. That was, so I still wouldn't be able to do that. I had read out I could do some kind of crazy thing here, or I was thinking I had read it out, but it turned out that that was not the case, and we ended up not being in as good a position as I think we could have been. Notice he reduced me, made territory, connected up this group. If I would have just sealed him in, this whole group of stones wouldn't be here anymore. So it was a pretty big mistake to let him out when I could have sealed him in and forced him to live locally. So this was a lot of fun. And this kind of reduction is actually quite a bit bigger than you might think, because every stone I play and every stone he plays takes points away from him. So when you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points, and when you look at the fact that it's Sente, and you start to think, okay, and if he could have gotten in a peep here or this here, he would have had this whole area plus this, and the fact that black, again, white ends in Sente, this is a huge reduction. It's let's say it's 15 points and it's Sente. So then that becomes 30 points when you use Mii counting, or I think it does. Anybody who uses Mii counting and doesn't agree with me, you're probably right. So he goes up here, and you know what? Here I might have just wanted to do this. He can push in. Yeah, this is way better. So now he has to defend that, and I can push here or turn here. Yeah, and then he turns in, and white is almost definitely winning here. I've still got this. I've still got some Aji here. I can play like a move like this or a move like this, and if he tries to cut me off, I mean, it's possible to do, but you know, it allows me, let's say, you know, this becomes Sente, which helps me to build up the center and also aims at C10. He's probably, he would have to answer it this way, but then when I turn, he doesn't have a huge amount of roads into the center, so let's check out our trusty score estimator. White is ahead, according to SE, which means I'm losing by about 30. So, oh yeah, we've still got to see my epic fail. Just total destruction. Oh, so where were we? Okay, so I pushed up, did this, and now this attachment I think was good, because I ruin the center. He gets that, but when I Atari here, this fight, in my opinion, is really good for white. So this wedge doesn't work, as we saw. And if everything goes well for white here, then white wins. So I want to keep his liberties gone. And this doesn't have any cool things. Like, you know, you can Atari from this side and then squeeze, but there's nothing that can be done about it in this position. Like, if I had a white stone here, then it's white's move. You Atari this way, and he does this, then you Atari, and he does this, and he has nowhere to go. So this is what I call it a squeeze ladder. I saw in a Japanese um, Go book one time that they call it a spiral ladder, which is another good way of saying it. But if I had that spiral ladder, it would be totally fine. So then, let me see. You know, I just thought of something that, okay, so now the cut here, and the reason why I did this actually, okay, yeah, so I have to do this first because of liberties, and then he does that, and then I should do this, and it's just game. This is now just dead, and these are alive, and I've got the center, I've got the top right, I've got the top left, and he's got the bottom. So I think even SE can get it right here. White's ahead by 7. Oh, yeah, this is alive in SE's estimation. You know, SE is very good with life and death. Score estimator will live where you think it's not possible, and he will kill things that are not possible to kill. So, yeah, you're right. I guess I'm only ahead by 7. Guess that's true. J15 at G10. Maybe I'll go back and look at that later. This was just horrid. It was so sad. So now even if I do this, he's got to connect, and I just don't have enough liberties here. It's just dead. I'm just toast.